Hello, children. Here we are going to continue Chapter 4 The Red Trap from your Flamingo book. Red Trap is a story based on the theme that essential goodness of a man can be awakened through understanding and love. Till the last part, you have come to know when the paddler lost his way in the confusing forest, he was attracted by the sounds of the Ramzo iron work. As the work was at full swing, nobody noticed his entry into the forge. Let's know what happened next. Surely it was nothing unusual for poor vagabonds without any better shelter for the night to be attracted to the forge by the glow of light which escaped through the sooty panes and to come in to warm themselves in front of the fire. Vagabonds are the wanderers. Sooty panes are the window panes which are covered with the soot or black powder produced with the burning of coal or wood. So here it is explained that all the time many homeless wanderers used to get attracted with the light of the forge which peered through the sooty window panes, and they used to get shelter and warm themselves with the help of the burning fire inside the forge. The blacksmith glanced only casually and indifferently at the intruder. He looked the way people of his type usually did, with a long beard, ragged, and with a bunch of red traps dangling on his chest. Indifferently means disinterestingly. Intruder means a person who makes entry without permission. Here it is mentioned the blacksmiths were accustomed to such visitors, so they gave a very casual and indifferent look to this red trap seller. His appearance was similar to that of other wanderers. He had a long beard and wearing dirty and worn out clothes and had a bunch of red traps hanging on his chest. He asked permission to stay, and the master blacksmith nodded a hearty consent without honoring him with a single word. Haughty means arrogant and proud. Consent means permission. Here, the peddler explained that when he reached inside the forge, he asked permission from the master blacksmith for his night stay in the forge. But very surprisingly, that man, he gave him very arrogant consent to stay inside by just nodding his head and didn't honor him with a single word. The tramp didn't say anything either. He had not come there to talk, but only to warm himself and sleep. Tramp means wanderer, vagabond, or the peddler. The peddler was not hurt to see such rude behavior of the master blacksmith. He had not gone there to have the gossiping or talk with that man, but he had gone inside the forge to get the night shelter during the winter and have a sleepover there. In those days, the Ramzo iron mill was owned by a very prominent iron master whose greatest ambition was to ship out good iron to the market. He watched both night and day to see that the work was done as well as possible, and at this very moment he came into the forge on one of his nightly rounds of inspection. Prominent means eminent or important. Here it is explained in those days the Ramzo iron mill, it was owned by a very ambitious and eminent iron master whose main aim was to import the finest iron only into the market. Therefore, he used to check on the workers both during the night and the day. It was during his nightly inspection that night when the peddler he entered into the forge. Naturally, the first thing he saw was the tall ragamuffin who had eased his way so close to the furnace that steam rose from his wet tracks. The iron master didn't follow the example of the blacksmiths who had hardly deigned to look at the stranger. Ragamuffin means a person in rags. Time means to do something that one considers to be below one's dignity. So here it is said, unlike his workers, the iron master, he didn't ignore the presence of the peddler in the forge. He at once noticed the man sitting so close to the furnace. As the man was sitting next to the fireplace, so the iron master noticed how the steam was rising up from his wet clothes. He walked close up to him, looked him over very carefully, and then tore off his slouch hat to get a better view of his face. Slouch hat, that means the hat which is bent on one side of the head. Hence, the iron master he went closer to this man. He looked him over very carefully. So he removed the wanderer's hat that was bent to one side. He wanted to have the clear look of this tramp. But of course it's you, Niels Olof, he said. How you do look! The man with the red tufts had never before seen the iron master at Ramso and didn't even know what his name was. But it occurred to him that if the fine gentleman thought he was an old acquaintance, he might perhaps throw him a couple of tranor. Therefore, he didn't want to undeceive him all at once. Acquaintance means friendship or association. Here it is said, the moment the iron master removed the peddler's hat, he mistook him to be his old acquaintance. He calls him with the name Niels Olof. But the peddler had never known him, nor he had seen this man before. But he thought in his mind that if this kind man would mistake him to be his old companion, he would surely help him with some money out of sympathy. But this time he didn't want to deceive anyone at all in his life. Yes, God knows things have gone downhill with me. He said, you should not have resigned from the regiment, said the iron master. That was a mistake. If only I had still been in the service at that time, it never would have happened. Well, now of course you will come home with me. Downhill means worst situation, regiment, a unit in the army or defense forces. Now the peddler started the conversation with the iron master. He replied him that the things had gone worst with him. To this, the iron master replied it was his biggest mistake to leave the regiment. He consoled him by saying that if he would have been working in the regiment, he would never have let his friend to resign from his post. Now, he invited the peddler to visit his home as a guest, to go along up to the manor house and be received by the honor like an old regimental comrade. That, however, did not please the tramp. Manor house means the big country house. The red trap seller didn't feel it good to visit the iron master's big house and felt it won't be good to receive the honor like some old regimental comrade. No, I could not think of it, he said, looking quite alarmed. He thought of the 30 tranor. To go up to the manor house would be like throwing himself voluntarily into the lion's den. He only wanted a chance to sleep here in the forge and then sneak away as inconspicuously as possible. Alarmed means to get frightened. Sneak away means to run away in a stealthy manner or go away quietly, inconspicuously. That means without being noticed or discerned by anyone. The retrieve seller was instantly frightened to get the invitation from this rich iron master. He felt it won't be the nice idea to visit the house of such a rich man. He again remembered about his stolen 30 crore money. He felt it would be like throwing himself voluntarily into the lion's den. To put oneself into lion's den, it is an idiom that means to put yourself into danger. He felt it would be putting himself into the danger if he would make the visit to the house of such a rich man. He only wanted a chance to sleep here in the forge and wanted to go away from there without being even noticed by anyone. After understanding the reason of his embarrassment, he tried to comfort his poor friend by saying that there is no rule of any monarchy in his house. His wife had already died, his son have settled abroad, and there were only two members, he and his daughter, left at his home. He explained the reason as they were feeling very bad not to have company of any friend or guest at the Christmas festival. That's why he and his daughter wanted to have the good company of him at the Christmas feast this year. He said that there were only two members, he and his oldest daughter, living alone at his home. And but the strangers said no and no and again no, and the iron master saw that he must give in. As the stranger was declining the invitation of the iron master again and again, finally the iron master thought that he should leave him now. It looks as though Captain Von Stale prefers to stay with you tonight, Sturgeon Storm, he said to the master blacksmith and turned on his heel. He instructed his worker Sturgeon Storm his friend would stay with him at night. Then he left the place. But he laughed to himself as he went away, and the blacksmith who knew him understood very well that he had not said his last word. Saying so, when he was leaving, blacksmith who knew him very well, he understood that he had not completed his word. That means he was going to do something for this man. It was not more than half an hour before they heard the sound of carriage wheels outside the forge, and a new guest came in. But this time it was not the iron master. He had sent his daughter, apparently hoping that she would have better power of persuasions than he himself. Carriage wheels means the vehicles with wheels which are pulled by horses, just like the horse carts. Persuasions means convincing power. After the departure of the iron master, it was not more than half an hour past, the workers heard the sound of the carriage wheels outside the forge. There came a new guest over there. It was not the iron master. This time he had sent his daughter in his place, thinking that the girl would have more convincing powers than himself. He was sure that she would make his friend ready to be his Christmas guest at his home. She entered, followed by a valet carrying on his arm a big fur coat. Valet means male attendant. The ironmaster's girl made the entry along with her attendant, who was carrying on his arm a big fur coat. She was not at all pretty, but seemed modest and quite shy. The girl was not looking so much beautiful, but seemed to be of humble and quite shy nature. In the forge, everything was just as it had been earlier in the evening. The master blacksmith and his apprentice still sat on the bench, and iron and charcoal still glowed in the furnace. Apprentice means helper or the learner. In the forge, everything was going in the same way as it had been described earlier. The blacksmith, he was still sitting on the bench with his helper and was still working on the iron. The stranger had stretched himself out on the floor and lay with a piece of big iron under his head and his hat pulled down over his eyes. Then the stranger was sleeping. He had stretched his body on the floor. He had covered his eyes with his hat and lying with the piece of big iron under his head. As soon as a young girl caught sight of him, she went up and lifted his hat. The man was evidently used to sleeping with one eye open. He jumped up abruptly and seemed to be quite frightened. When this girl found the stranger sleeping there, she went up and removed his hat. The man had very unique and awkward style of sleeping by keeping his one eye open. But the moment when he saw the girl in the dark forge, he jumped up abruptly and seemed to be quite frightened and shocked. My name is Adla Wilmanson, said the young girl. My father came home and said that you wanted to sleep here in the forts tonight, and then I asked permission to come and bring you home to us. I'm so sorry, Captain, that you're having such a hard time. The girl introduced herself as Adla Wilmanson. She felt sorry for all the miseries and hard times of the stranger. She said that when his father had returned back home that night, he informed how he had met his old friend and also his wish to stay in the forts that night. She said she herself insisted her father to give permission to bring that friend to their home. That's why she was there. She looked at him compassionately with her heavy eyes, and then she noticed that the man was afraid. Either he has stolen something or else he has escaped from jail. She thought and added quickly, You may be sure, Captain, that you will be allowed to leave us just as freely as you came. Only please stay with us over Christmas Eve. Compassionately means to show sympathy or love and care for others. Adla showed full sympathy to the paddler. She looked at him with her compassionate and heavy eyes to show concern for him. But then she sensed that there was some fear in his eyes. It seemed that the man, either he was a thief on the run or he was some escaped prisoner. But she tried to hide her feelings and comforted the man by saying that he would be free to live in the house at any moment he wanted to leave, he could go. But their family only wanted him to stay with them just for Christmas Eve. She said this in such a friendly manner that the red trap peddler must have felt confidence in her. It would never have occurred to me that you would bother with me yourself, miss, he said. I will come at once. As the girl had talked in such a polite and friendly mood that the red trap peddler must have been impressed. She said this in such a friendly manner that the red trap peddler must have felt confidence in her. It would never have occurred to me that you would bother with me yourself, miss, he said. I will come at once. As the girl had given the invitation in such a polite and friendly manner, The red trap peddler must have felt confidence in the girl. He was impressed. He got ready at once. He expressed that he had never ever thought that such a nice girl like her could ever bother about him. So instantly he got ready to go with her. Accepted the fur coat which the valet handed him with a deep bow, threw it over his rags, and followed the young lady out to the carriage without ranting the astonished blacksmith so much as a glance. But while he was riding up to the manor house, he had evil forebodings. Astonished means greatly surprised. Forebodings means prediction. Now the peddler was ready to go with the girl. He put on the fur coat which was given to him by the valet. With good respect, he started following the girl. He didn't now even bother to notice the shocked faces of the workers of the forge. But while moving to the house of the iron master, he had the bad forebodings in his mind. He started thinking he was again committing the crime and would definitely be punished for this wrong. Why the devil did I take that fellow's money? He thought. Now I'm sitting in the trap and will never get out of it. The peddler started cursing himself why he had stolen the crafter's money. He was also trapped like the other people of the world. He knew due to this bait of the money, he would also led to the trap of the world and would never come out of it. The next day was Christmas Eve, and when the iron master came into the dining room for breakfast, he probably thought with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade whom he had run across so unexpectedly. Unexpectedly means without any hope. It was mentioned the next day was Christmas Eve. When the iron master reached the dining room for breakfast, he was probably thinking now satisfactorily about the welfare of his old regimental friend whom he had met so unexpectedly. First of all, we must see to it that he gets a little flesh on his bones, he said to his daughter, who was busy at the table, and then we must see that he gets something else to do than to run around the country selling red traps. Flesh on the bones means to put on weight or improve the health. Now the iron master discussed with his daughter. First of all, they would improve the health of this poor and weak friend. They would provide him good food. Then he said he would do something to improve the financial condition of this poor friend, that he should leave the work of selling the red traps. Thank you everyone for watching the video. To get the latest updates of the course, do like, share, comment and subscribe the channel.